What up, y'all? I am back for another video. Today, I am doing Candyman 3, and then later tonight, I'll be doing Braveheart. And then I guess tomorrow, we'll be doing... I found a Screen Rantings Gay article to talk about. And I guess since this article's relating to Sound of Freedom, I originally wasn't going to, do a whole, review on the movie. But I will, I guess, might as well, since I'm fucking roasting this article, I guess I might as well give it a move. So it'll be Screen Rantings Gay / a little... kind of Sound of Freedom review, and I'm going to announce this now. Potentially on Monday, if I do not have work, I will be doing my first live stream, or attempt anyway, hopefully. I attempted a live stream like a year ago, and I didn't fucking regret it. It was from my phone. So now that I have a laptop, I'm gonna attempt, see if it works. But yeah, if I can make it work, if I have no work that day, I will be doing my first live stream. I will be talking about, since I just finished my Buffy rewatch this week, so I figured why not, instead of doing a video on it, and I know a lot of people I know, watch Buffy, so why not just do a live, updated ranking? So that's the plan, at least for the next few days. Monday, I'll probably still be doing a video, too, that night, but I'm just gonna do this stream. Anyway, so, Candyman 3. This one was, I don't hate it, but it's not, I almost feel like it is a bit unnecessary, because it does feel like it just is a retread, he wants to have another person join him, but Tony Todd still kicks ass as Candyman. He doesn't, even though, this one, I think this one was straight to DVD, this wasn't theatrical, and not this isn't a diss to straight to DVD movies, but, they had that reputation, but Tony Todd still, I really think, kills it. So I'd almost say if you're gonna watch it, just watch it for Tony Todd performance. And there's some decent kills in there, and it's not, compared to some entries in some franchises, this isn't one of the worst. You have an over-the-top racist cop with Kraft, who I felt like I'm watching another movie whenever he's around. Not a bad actor, but it was so over the top. There was nothing to his character. The main chick, Caroline, was okay. She wasn't anything special. Her friend David was alright. But basically the story, this is the daughter of the girl from the second movie. And this is set in 2020, I think. So basically she draws paintings, and Candyman is tormenting her in dreams. And Candyman killed her mom, but they, claimed it was suicide. So Candyman starts tormenting her in, the same kind of fashion. He kills everybody around her. She even gets framed for because her roommate Tamara gets murdered, and she kind of gets framed for it. And she has to try to stop Candyman. And that's really the plot. It's a simple little horror sequel. It's not one of the worst movies ever. It's just, you could argue a little bit it's not needed, It's just here's a Candyman 3. I think probably just stick to the first one, but I'd even say maybe watch Candyman 1 and 2 as a duology, because I think it could work. Candyman 1 and 2 work together, and this one doesn't feel like a third in a trilogy. It just feels like, oh, this is Candyman 3, and it seems like they could have did way more movies if they wanted to, so. But overall, I guess if I were to give it out of 10, 6.5, not the worst thing in the world. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I'd probably mainly just stick to the first two. But Tony Todd has some really good performances, gives a really good performance. He still tries, so yeah. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get started here. Let's get going. Shit. Sorry, guys. That happened. So, she has a dream. We open up basically with her having bad dreams about Candyman killing her mom. which I thought some of the imagery was trippy. Her roommate Tamara basically trying to prove that to her that Candyman isn't real. She says his name 5 times, and obviously nothing happens initially. So she sets up an art gallery with Miguel, and to show off some of her paintings. We get to the event. Obviously Miguel puts some theatrics, so he says Candyman's name 5 times, and it's just David. This is where we meet David in a Candyman outfit. This is also where we meet Kraft, too. All his characters be racist, and it's so over the top. He says things like vato and just stereotypical shit, but it's almost funny. Like, it's like I'm watching a different movie, because there's a black officer named Jamal, who probably, if you just wanted a cop character, you could have just had him. Because Kraft, I'm going to get to it later, he's only there, obviously, just for this ending portion. I'll just say it. He gets franked. Basically, they pin the murders on him, in a way, so that was all. But if you're going to do that, give him a better character, because it just, every time he's on screen, I feel like I'm watching, this could be, Don't Be a Menace. He could be, the Don't Be a Menace racist cop. It was so, it doesn't fit this movie. The way he was acting, it didn't fit this movie. So, that night, Miguel gets murdered by Candyman, which I'll bet the kills are really good. There's a lot of Candyman hook through the chest. There's a lot of that in this. So, Miguel, this is where David, and Caroline hook up, and she tells him about Candyman, and they try to pin the murders on David, so that's why, Kraft's, on him, and then later in the movie, I think this is either before, she, David takes her to his grandma, who's, a psychic, basically, and tells her the way to defeat Candyman is you gotta destroy the poster, or the poster painting. So, then that night, Candyman murders her friend Tamara in front of her, who I thought this scene was really good, and Tony Todd, basically, you have the same join me, and basically he'll just keep killing everybody around her. So, gives her the body, so basically the blood is on her, so basically it looks like she did it. So the Kraft arrests her, and Kraft and the other car kind of making fun of her. She's trying to say, hey, it's Candyman, and so they put her in the car. The other cop kind of laughs at her and, makes fun of her, and this is where Candyman actually shows up, kills him, comes out hooked through the chest, and then he basically cuts him open, which I thought that was cool. The effects for straight to DVD movie, which probably didn't have as big of a budget compared to probably the first 2 movies, which were theatrical. I could say they looked pretty good. It didn't the blood didn't look really fake. There's even a scene later on where kind of sort of the first one, you see his cut open chest where it's just ribs and bees coming out. That still looked pretty good for what it was. For 1999, that wasn't bad. So, she basically frees herself, then tries to blend in with the crowd, because she has to try to help David because they have a night where they hook up basically, and then the next morning he's gone. Actually, so basically that's when her friend gets murdered, because he's gone the next morning, and Candyman basically has him in a warehouse, torturing him essentially. So she has to try to help him. So the cops, Kraft, try to chase her. She pulls a trap, basically putting a wig on a guy to make him think it's her. Kraft's about to beat the shit out of the guy. Jamal stops him. He calls him boy, and then he even does the weird. Cause I think the movie's supposed to be in LA, and he even says boy in a southern accent. It's every fucking movie where you have a racist say boy, even if it's not in the South, he has to say it boy, like fucking 1800s. It's so weird. I'm I can't take the shit seriously, because that's all his character's there to be. There's nothing to Kraft besides later on where you get to pin the murders on. So that night she thinks she has a contact who can help her, because he claims he saw Candyman or something like that. But it was actually, he's part of Candyman's cult, which idea of it, I like the idea. But they introduce it an hour, 11 minutes into the movie. So basically we're almost, the movie's gonna end in 20 minutes. And it's why would you introduce that late? I like the idea. Should have introduced that like 40, 50 minutes ago. I actually think that would have been, because I can believe a Candyman cult, but you introduce it so late in the movie, and it doesn't matter, because I mean, obviously, it makes sense that they're going to be there to get murdered, because, you know, they think they're going to be in salvation, and their salvation, he just ends up killing them. Which, that scene was good. You know, and the way he says believe, he even says be my victim, and it doesn't feel forced, like in some sequels where you have the character say an iconic line, and the later movies, sometimes you have to say the same line, and it just comes off cringe. It didn't really do that this time around. So, she goes to David, and she tries, I think she ends up freeing him, and she has to try to destroy the poster, but then I did like this scene. This is the scene where you see, like, all the bees coming at her, and shit. Like, that aspect about Candyman is kind of scary. Like, he could just send a bunch of bees at you. And, like, yeah, because they're, like, you have to, like, she has to try to get all through that, and him, you know, trying to, like, manipulate her to joining him while this is all going on. She manages to make it. She gets a hook, you know, kind of poetic, destroys the paint. I keep saying poster. Painting with the hook, thus killing Candyman. The movie basically then ends with her, I think her and David basically get together, and now her life, it seems like basically she believes Candyman's gone now. It's like, so basically it's like supposed to be like the end of Candyman, essentially. Because he doesn't even do like he doesn't even show up like in the end or some shit like that, so. But overall, decent little film. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I wouldn't rush, because they basically then, because after destroying the painting, I don't know why I keep saying post, painting, Kraft's like about to kill her with the hook, and then Jamal shoots her. So basically, they pin the murders on him after that. Which, it's like, okay, that's like all his character. That's all that was there for, just so that could happen. Like I said, I don't know if I'd watch it again, but 6.5 out of 10 is horrible. Compared to some entries in some other franchises, it's not the worst. But it's just, it doesn't have a strong, like, it does just feel like you just took the best aspects of the first two and just kind of redid it. There was nothing new to it. Caroline wasn't the most interesting character in the world. Okay, she could paint. David was an okay character, but we didn't really get enough of him. He was just eventually just there to get captured later on. Yeah. But it's not as bad as compared to the entry we're gonna be reviewing next week. Candyman, the reboot, the 2021 one. The movie that they made such a big deal about bringing Tony Todd back. He's in it for all of 5 minutes, and like the last 5 minutes. And I think they did something. I have to rewatch it. I've watched it the once. If it was like something like multiple Candymen or something like that, I'm like, no, it should just be the main Candyman. And you made such a big deal having Tony Todd, and you wasted him. He still has the same voice. He could still go. But no, you made a BLM. You just wanted to make a propaganda piece for BLM. That's all that movie was. And it's unfortunate that people try to defend it with, like, well, the original had the... That, like, if you really look into the original story, it was originally going to be in England. And it was going to be a white guy. Theoretically, it could play out the same way, but it was only suggested maybe make it in America. That was the only switch up. But the aspect that they really leaned on was that he was a legend, and I actually think that was the more important aspect. Yeah, his origin is his origin, but arguably his more important aspect is he's a fucking legend, kind of like Bloody Mary. And they didn't, and that's the other problem I had. They didn't lean into that. It was just, I can't wait to rip that shit apart. It was so unfortunate, because I do think you could have made a new Candyman really good. You could have just did a Candyman 4. Either with a different relative, or even just with a different character. You know, maybe it's something, you could have this woman remind him of his woman, so it's just Candyman 4. That's all they needed to do. They didn't really need to do a reboot, to be honest. If you're going to do a reboot, you could have did like a 2018, and maybe, if you were going to do a reboot, maybe you could erase, as much as I didn't hate this movie, you could have erased Candyman 3 and have the reboot be the real Candyman 3. You know? You could have did that instead of doing this shitty, like, BLM fucking one where, and then the only people he killed were basically, he killed the cops. so cringe. It's so over the top. I'm gonna rip that apart. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, tonight, I'm actually gonna talk about a movie I really love, Braveheart, with William Wallace. Yeah, it's not accurate, but fucking badass. For freedom, the fight, the battle is great. It's a great, like, another great, like, if you want to watch a good history piece, like, where that's one period piece, that's a great one. Mel Gibson's performance is fucking incredible. And one of my favorite Mel Gibson movies, though. I'll definitely eventually do a best Mel Gibson's movie list, because I think he has a lot of great ones, so we'll do that at some point. I'm saving Fat Man for Christmas, like Christmas time. But anyway, guys, then tomorrow, Screen Rant is Gay Part 7. Then Monday, like I said, if I can do it, I'm going to potentially do a live stream, my first live stream, or an attempt anyway. So I'll be doing that, so that's my schedule for the next few days. But other than that, guys, I'm going to cheers out and see y'all later tonight. Alright, guys. Peace.